My beloved child, I know how easily the whirlpool of daily life, with its noise from work, its endless responsibilities, and the seemingly unending worries, can cause you to overlook the subtle yet sacred signals I am sending your way. What may appear small in the spiritual realm, those fleeting impressions, gentle nudges in your thoughts, or inexplicable emotions, are in fact divine indicators you must not dismiss. For there are matters unfolding behind the unseen veil, things your natural eyes cannot perceive. Yet I see them as clearly as daylight. And these things, my dear one, are far from trivial. They are urgent warnings. There is something, or someone, that has become a barrier between you and the divine destiny I have ordained. A force, cloaked and subtle, is working silently to restrain your progress. Though your heart longs to move forward, you may feel as though you're stuck in place. This hindrance is not only delaying the blessings I intend for you, but it is also clouding your spiritual vision, making it harder for you to discern what is right from wrong, what is true from false, and what is from me versus what is a disguise of darkness wearing the mask of light. I see what you cannot see. I pierce through that invisible veil where the enemy has laid traps not with sword or spear, but with doubt, weariness, emotional instability, misaligned relationships, and subtle whispers that lead you to question yourself. I see the walls that have been built, not from stone or mortar, but from unspoken fears, from the quiet belief that you're not enough, and from unhealed memories that continue to bleed in silence. My child, you cannot remain indifferent to this. If you do not stop to discern, to cry out to me, to enter my presence with a longing heart seeking clarity, you will continue to live in a dull and endless loop, close but never quite touching, seeing but unable to grasp, walking but never arriving. I did not create you for a life of half measures and incompletion. I formed you to walk in full freedom, in power, and in an unshakable light. And for that to become your reality, you must look at this not with human reasoning, but with spiritual eyes. Ask yourself, what is subtly stealing your peace? Is there a person, a situation, or even a thought that consistently leaves you confused, mentally agitated, or uncertain about your calling? Are you walking beside someone with whom your soul cannot find rest, even though everything on the surface appears fine? Is there something you are doing, no matter how small, that is encroaching upon the time and connection between you and me? If your answer is yes, then listen carefully to what I am about to say. Do not wait until everything falls apart to come searching for me. I am not giving this warning to incite fear, but to offer you an escape before things unravel. You must begin to let go of the things that are not from me, whether it is a relationship, a habit, a job, or even a dream that you have been pursuing in your own strength, rather than by the leading of my Spirit. Not every open door has been opened by me. Not every invitation comes from heaven, and not everyone standing next to you is someone I have sent. I love you too much to remain silent while something is holding you back from true spiritual freedom. Do you know why blessings are delayed? Because I never place the treasures of heaven into hands governed by a chaotic mind, or onto a path that has not been cleared. I wait for you to awaken. I wait for you to see. I wait for you to bravely ask, Lord, is there something in my life that is blocking what you want to do? And when you ask with a sincere heart, I will answer, not with rebuke, but with gentleness and light. I do not leave you to struggle alone in the dark. I am not the one who warns and then turns away. I am the one who comes with truth and also brings the solution. I do not leave you exposed before the forces that seek to rob you of your destiny. Nor do I abandon you at the crossroads of your soul, where decisions must be made without light to guide them. No, my child, I am here, right now, to expose the lies, to tear down every barrier, and to lead you into the land of complete freedom and grace. Be strong, stand tall, know with certainty that you are not abandoned in a vulnerable state. My hand surrounds you like an invisible shield, like a fortress in the midst of battle. No arrow from the darkness can pierce my protection when you remain hidden in the truth and walk in the light. You are not meant to fight alone. I myself fight for you. I have come to unveil the darkness, not to cause you fear, but to set you free. The obstacles I have revealed were never meant to discourage you, but to awaken your awareness that the time for action has come. I opened your eyes so you could see clearly, not to make you hesitant, but to embolden you to step forward. I uncovered the hidden things so you could rise up in the authority of the Chosen One, no longer ensnared in invisible traps. I will not allow any force to restrain you when I have already anointed you to step into my greater purpose. O precious one, if your heart truly longs to live fully within the plan I've designed for you, if you are yearning to receive the fullness of blessing without delay or limitation, then do not remain silent. Declare it boldly with living faith. Speak it, not only with your mouth, but with the entirety of your soul. Yes, I need it. I want to step into the fullness my Father has prepared for me. For faith is not merely a feeling. Faith is action. Faith is courage. Faith is the bold cry of a soul that knows it belongs to the one who promises and never breaks a promise. Why do I call this a serious warning? Because anything that stands between you and what I have prepared for you is a direct threat to the fulfillment of your divine calling. These are not ordinary challenges. This is a theft of destiny. It is a derailment of an eternal plan. It is a suffocation of the potential I placed within you before you were ever formed. And that, my child, is something I will not tolerate. I do not stand idly by while my precious jewel is buried beneath the ashes of fear, insecurity, or the walls built, whether by others or by yourself, unknowingly. I created you with a clear purpose. Nothing within you is accidental. No gift you possess is unnecessary. Every ability, every passion, every heartbeat has been intentionally placed. Every joy, every spark in your eyes, every field that stirs your heart, these all bear the mark of your calling. What you thought were mere interests are in fact clues pointing you toward your destiny. The dreams you once considered small are holding pieces of the divine plan I, in infinite wisdom and love, have designed uniquely for you. You were not created to live an ordinary life. You were created to reveal an irreplaceable part in my grand design, and when anything, whether a person, a circumstance, or even your own thoughts, hinders that purpose, it becomes an obstruction not only to you, but also to the flow of blessings that I intended to pour through you into the world around you. I speak to you today. Pause and reflect. Be courageous enough to ask yourself, what is holding you back? Who is speaking into your ear, causing you to question your worth? Have you become so busy with things that do not matter that you have no time left for what is eternal? Are you allowing the rejections of the past to muffle the voice I am speaking to you in the present? If the answer is yes, then know this, my child. I am reaching out to pull you out of those things. I did not come to condemn. I came to rescue. But this rescue requires your cooperation. I will not impose freedom upon you. I invite you to enter into it by choice. Say yes, and I will move. Nod your head, and I will make a way. Acknowledge your need for me, and I will do what you never thought you deserved. When you stumble over internal and spiritual obstacles, the loss is not yours alone. It ripples outward like an invisible wave, affecting the world around you. For I have entrusted to you sacred gifts that only you can carry. Only your voice can echo in that unique way. Only your footsteps are destined to reach the places I prepared for you before the foundations of the world. When you are delayed, it is not merely a personal detour. It is a postponement for those who are longing to be touched by the light you carry. Every soul waiting for you to step into place at the appointed time is impacted by the struggle within your heart. These hindrances do not always come like storms easy to recognize. Sometimes they arrive softly, like a passing hurtful word, a cold silence no one notices, the subtle sting of being overlooked, or a fleeting thought that you are not enough. They are like small seeds sown in moments when your guard is down, and if they are not uprooted in time, they will take root and grow into spiritual thorns that suffocate your soul and wear you down in the unseen battle. My beloved child, do you know that every unresolved blockage can become a stronghold in your spirit? A negative thought, if repeated often enough, becomes a mental pathway. An unacknowledged emotion turns into a murky undercurrent beneath your daily actions. Bitterness, if left in the shadows instead of brought to the light for healing, will eventually color everything you see. What starts as a scratch becomes a bleeding wound, then hardens into a scar that dulls the softness of your soul. I do not say this to frighten you, but to help you understand that I see into the very depths of your heart, the places you may not dare to look. I see the silent sighs you share with no one, the restless nights stirred by unspoken words, the dreams left unfinished because you stopped believing in yourself. But I also see within you a small flame still burning. Though it may flicker faintly, it is enough to blaze again when touched by the breath of heaven, and today I come to breathe upon that flame, to remind you that no fortress is too high for me to bring down, no chain too thick for my power to break. You were not created to live in hiding, nor to carry invisible burdens alone. You were made to shine, to love, to live in the fullness of freedom that I paid the price to give you. So do not allow old wounds, false judgments, or unspoken feelings to become walls between you and the mission you were born to fulfill. I know that there are moments when you feel weary, as if you are running an endless race, constantly bracing yourself against the storms of life without anyone truly understanding what you carry. I see the times you've forgiven, only to be hurt again. I know how you've opened your heart, only to face rejection. But my child, it is precisely through those experiences that I am shaping you into someone unshakable. Every time you choose to forgive without ever receiving an apology, you dismantle another brick in the wall that keeps love at bay. Each time you choose to trust despite the unknowns, you take a step closer to complete healing. Let me walk with you through every inner landscape, through the shadowy corners where you've hidden your emotions, and into the rooms you've locked away out of fear of facing old memories. I am not merely the one who gives you strength to get through. I am the one who holds your hand and stays with you in every moment when you fall. I do not observe from a distance as you wrestle with conflicting emotions. I am right there, lifting you gently with unconditional tenderness. My beloved one, this is a moment when you cannot afford to be scattered in heart, not even for a fleeting second. Do not take your eyes off of me. Do not let the noise of daily life or passing concerns pull you away from the Word. I am speaking to your soul. The enemy watches for every moment when your mind begins to drift, when weariness sets in, or when you whisper to yourself, "Maybe I'll reflect later." Perhaps I'll pray more deeply tomorrow. Maybe I don't have to respond just yet. But, my dear child, it is precisely in those moments of delay that distraction begins to take root, the kind that slowly dulls the spiritual sensitivity I have placed within you, like a priceless treasure. The enemy does not need you to fall all at once. All it needs is for you to hesitate in obedience, to overlook just one small guiding light. From there it can draw you into a cycle of doubt and self-condemnation. It knows that if you seize the breakthrough I have laid before you, everything will change. Not only your own life, but the entire spiritual atmosphere around you, your family, your community, even generations after you. So it works tirelessly to make you scroll past my voice as if it were just another familiar sound, lacking the power to truly move you. But I speak to you now. Pause. Be still. Give your heart space to listen, not merely with your ears, but with your whole being. What I am whispering to your spirit today is not a repetition of something old, but the unlocking of something entirely new. There is a divine door opening, ever so slightly, reserved only for those who do not miss it. You do not need to understand everything. You do not need to strive to do something extraordinary. You only need to be fully present, to release your dependence on what you think you know, and allow me to teach you afresh, with wisdom that transcends human reasoning. Open your spirit like dry ground longing for rain, like a child eager to receive something wondrous from a loving Father. I am pouring out understanding that doesn't come from books, but from revelation. Truths that are only revealed when the soul bows low, when the heart is willing to be humbled enough to relearn the smallest things in my light. This is not worldly wisdom, but the kind of light that leads you through dark places your eyes cannot navigate. It is a clarity that shows you what must be held on to and what must be released. It is the courage to walk on water when all that is familiar is collapsing around you. You cannot receive these things if you believe you already know enough. Even a subtle form of spiritual pride, so gentle you barely notice, can quietly shut the door to greater things. When you think, "I've heard this before," or "I've already lived through this," you are unknowingly closing yourself off to the deeper dimensions I long to bring you into. I do not want you to merely know about me. I want you to encounter me. I do not want you to simply remember teachings. I want you to be transformed by the very word itself, so deeply that everything you touch carries the imprint of heaven. My child, do not let familiarity cause you to lose sight of what is sacred. You may have heard many prophecies, read countless scriptures, experienced numerous nights of prayer, but what I am doing today is unlike anything you've encountered before. This is a new wind, a spiritual shift, quietly spreading, and only awakened souls will perceive it. Do not allow your heart to close itself off with old concepts. Let go of the notion that you must fully understand everything before you can take the next step. You do not need to be the one with all the answers. You only need to be the one who is willing to listen and say, "Teach me from the beginning." And when you choose to open your heart in that way, I will pour out things far beyond your natural ability. You will receive wisdom to discern between what is right and what merely seems right. You will see through the polished disguise of cunning deception. You will walk, not by your own strength, but by the power of my Spirit. And even when the path ahead is not clearly visible, you will still walk steadily, because your heart knows that a hand is holding and guiding you. My beloved, this moment is unlike any before. This is not a time of trial, but a time of transition. What you stand between is not merely two choices, It is two destinies. On one side is the familiar place of comfort. On the other, a journey of faith, where I will do something that has never been done before. If you allow distractions to pull you away from this sacred point of divine perception, you may find yourself returning to the same old cycle, waiting yet another season for a breakthrough that you could have embraced today. So listen carefully. Treasure my words as precious gems within your heart. Be mindful of every fleeting thought, of every small decision, for they are the first steps on a path of destiny. You are not living for yourself alone. All of heaven is waiting for your yes. I am near, so near. Let your heart be drawn not by secondary things, but by a divine love, by a heavenly invitation. Be strong and step into the breakthrough, for I have already prepared the way. My precious one, remember this always. I have never and will never be passive in the face of the battles you're facing. My love is not merely a gentle comfort when you are weary, but also a blazing fire that goes before you, a holy power quietly breaking every invisible chain that seeks to bind your life. I am the one who moves on your behalf. I am clearing the path, covering you in protection, and releasing a power beyond human limits so you can fulfill your God-ordained journey. But within this grand design I am unfolding, there is a part no one else can play but you. The victory I have destined for you is not a random prize that falls from the sky, but the fruit of a deep collaboration between heaven and a heart that obeys. You must choose, not once, but again and again. Every day, every hour, every moment, when temptation arises, when emotions flare, when circumstances make you question what I've promised, you must choose to stand on my word, even when your feelings say otherwise. You must commit to pray not just with your lips, but with a spirit that refuses to bow. You must forgive, not because the other deserves it, but because you know forgiveness is the key that frees you from unseen captivity. And you must also be brave enough to walk, not with full understanding, but with faith that my hand is guiding you through every turn. Don't wait for everything to make sense before you take action. It is when you step into the unclear with a believing heart that I will make the way plain before you. Faith is not a fleeting emotion, but a conscious decision to trust, especially in the wilderness that has not yet been mapped. There are moments when you feel as though you are being hindered from every side. Doors that refuse to open, prayers that seem unanswered, dreams that feel like they are slipping further away. But my dear child, this is not because I have forgotten you. Rather, there are invisible resistances at work, spiritual forces, unresolved influences from relationships, memories, your living environment, or even the hidden matters within your own heart that have quietly built a wall between you and the full flow of grace I long to pour out upon you. So, cry out to my Holy Spirit, the one who sees all things, to open the eyes of your spirit so you may clearly discern the source of the blockage. Pray for clarity not only to perceive what is standing in the way, but also to identify where it comes from. Perhaps it is a person unknowingly sowing seeds of doubt that make you hesitate. Perhaps it is an unhealed memory that has shut your heart to new things. Perhaps it is a subtle deception, cloaked in reason, that keeps you from daring to believe in the extraordinary purpose I've planted within you. And once you see it clearly, do not turn away. Ask me for strength to go to that very place, not with anger or fear, but with the posture of one who belongs to the light, carrying truth without lacking love, confronting with honesty, yet with gentleness, speaking what needs to be said, but refusing to let bitterness distort wisdom. You are not called to overlook what is wrong or pretend it doesn't exist. You are called to face it, walk through it, and break the barriers with the power that flows from obedience. I have not withdrawn my power simply because you feel weak. On the contrary, it is in the moment you acknowledge your inability that I can fully move. When you humble yourself, I lift you up. When you surrender your own way, you will see my plans unfold. And every step you take, no matter how shaky, pulls you out of the shadows and brings you closer to the light that awaits you at the end of this path. You are not alone in this journey. Your angels have been commissioned to surround, protect, guide, and remind you. My spirit is near, whispering direction into the mind that dares to open. And I, the one who began the good work in you, I will be faithful to complete it to the very end. But I need your partnership. Not your perfection, but your faithfulness. Not extraordinary strength, but a heart willing to say, even if I don't understand it all, I choose to believe. Even in my weakness, I choose to obey. My precious one, do not sit and wait for change to arrive from the outside. I have placed the key in your hands. Open the door, stand up, pray, forgive, move forward, trust, confront. When you do your part, I will do the rest. The part no one else can do but me. Moving mountains, parting seas, opening pathways and turning the impossible into reality. And one day soon, you will look back and realize it was those brave decisions that unlocked a brand new chapter in your life. Not just a chapter of survival, but of victory, restoration, and heavenly glory. My beloved child, be still in this moment and allow my words to pierce deep into your soul. For I know you are walking through a land that feels unclear, where the signs no longer seem as visible as before, and distractions fall like a veil over every direction. But remember, truth does not always reveal itself through what the eyes can see. There are things that can only be perceived through eyes of faith and heard through the ears of discernment given by my Spirit. So, my child, pray, not just with words, but with a heart that longs to see what heaven is revealing. Cry out to me for spiritual vision to discern what lies hidden beneath the surface, to perceive the deeper root behind things that may seem harmless on the outside. You may be facing wounds too deep for words, wounds inflicted by those you loved, silences that cracked your heart, or the indifference of someone who was supposed to hold your hand through the storm. But my dear child, the danger does not lie in what others have done. It lies in how your heart responds. Bitterness, if not brought into the light and surrendered to me, will silently poison the river of life within you. It will cause you to doubt what is good, to question love itself, and to close your heart to the very things I long to renew in you. I do not blame you for feeling the pain. I see every tear that falls in those nights when you ask, why? I am not asking you to pretend you are unaffected, but I am calling you to something higher, to choose release, not to justify the actions of the one who hurt you, but to liberate yourself from the prison that resentment builds. True freedom does not begin when others change. It begins when you open your hands and let go of what was never yours to carry. Forgiveness is your declaration that you no longer wish to be bound to what wounded you, and that you choose to believe that I, not you, am the one who will deal with every injustice. And as you release, let your mouth begin to take part in the work of restoration. Speak life into the dry places of your soul. Do not let the grounds overtaken by doubt and disappointment become burial grounds for your hope. Speak my words, even if you don't yet feel them, even if nothing seems to change immediately, because every word declared by faith is a seed of life, planted in soil, ready for resurrection. Speak to yourself as many times as it takes until every fiber of your being remembers, I am chosen, I am loved, I have a holy calling in Christ. This is not just a slogan. This is eternal truth, written in blood upon the cross and sealed by the power of resurrection. No rejection, no past, no wound can strip that truth away. Each time you declare it, you are reclaiming your identity as a child, your right to live, to walk in the light, to rise from ashes, and to be transformed. You will see, as my words saturate your mind and your lips echo declarations from heaven, everything will begin to shift, not just in your inner world, but in the world around you. For the words that come from me never return void. They break invisible chains. They dissolve the mist of doubt. They ignite light in places that once seemed condemned to darkness. And as you live out this truth, you will no longer walk around seeking validation from others. You will walk as one who knows they belong to an unshakable kingdom. In that knowing, you will not be so easily wounded by rejection. You will no longer react as a victim, but respond as an heir of glory. Not because you are strong on your own, but because you have chosen to place your full trust in me, the one who never changes. My beloved child, let this become your sacred rhythm. Pray to discern, forgive to be free, and declare truth to activate life. I do not require you to master each of these overnight, but I am inviting you to practice them faithfully, one step at a time. For it is in this very process that you will experience a quiet yet enduring transformation. Like a tender shoot rising from the soil, it may not be seen at first, but one day it will grow into a tree whose branches will offer shelter to many others. My beloved child, this is the moment you can no longer hesitate. Learn to obey swiftly, not with delay, not through the lens of your own understanding, and not by letting outward circumstances steer your soul away from the path I have already prepared. For delayed obedience is the very crack through which doubt slips in, the doorway through which the enemy sows fear, and the moment darkness tries to swallow the light I am revealing. Every time you hesitate, you are missing a divine moment I have carefully arranged to rescue you, guide you, and propel you further. I know the enemy is working tirelessly to hold you back. He doesn't always come with fear or obvious temptation, but more often through logical voices, telling you that you're not ready, that the timing is not right, that you should wait a little longer. But my child, delayed obedience is not wisdom. It is disguised retreat. Every time you hear my voice and do not move, you are trading the operation of a miracle for the comfort of temporary safety. Yet miracles do not occur in safe zones. They are birthed when you choose to believe, step out of the boat, and walk on water, even when the shore is not yet visible. People may try to place limits on you. They may say you're not good enough, not strong enough, not the right fit for something great. They may use their own experiences to define your potential. But I tell you this, no one has the authority to set boundaries for the one I have chosen. When I look at you, I don't merely see who you are now. I see the fullness of who you will become, the completion I planned before you were even formed in your mother's womb. I have drawn a map of destiny for your soul, and on it there is no room for predestined failure. Only pathways of glory, if you are willing to walk with me. I also know your past still whispers to you, telling you that you failed, that you were abandoned, that there are mistakes you've made which can never be repaired. But hear me clearly, my child. Your past holds no power to imprison your soul once you have surrendered it to me. What has happened is not a chain of condemnation, but a testimony of grace. If you allow me to touch it, the enemy may use memories to make you feel small, but I use them to shape a warrior of faith, one who has tasted sorrow and is now deep enough to carry compassion for the world. So if you truly walk with me, nothing can stand in your way. There is no barrier I cannot break, no door I open that anyone can shut, no plan I begin that any force can destroy, when you choose to walk in surrender. My beloved one, hold this truth close to your heart. Every single thing I have prepared for you, every opportunity, every provision, every healing, every quiet miracle waiting for its moment, they all bear your name. They do not come by chance. They do not belong to another. They are tailor-made for you, drawn from my unchanging love. But the one condition for receiving them is faith, not faith that wavers with emotion, but faith as steadfast as stone, clinging to my word regardless of what surrounds you. I do not tell you I have a future for you as a mere comfort. I do not promise vaguely just to keep your hope alive. I am the Lord your God who fulfills every word I speak. When I say I have a future for you, it means I have already prepared a place that no one else can occupy. A harvest that blooms only when you step into it. A path that only you can walk fully in its calling. But to reach that place, you must rise above fear. You must choose faith daily, even when your eyes see no way forward. You must take that first step, even when your feet are trembling. I do not require you to be strong from the beginning. I only need you to be willing to say, Lord, I believe. Though I do not fully understand, I choose to walk. Because in that very moment when you decide to move, heaven begins to shift. Angels are dispatched. Doors that seemed forever shut will swing open. And you will know it was your faith, not your circumstances, that led you to the place of revelation. My child, do not allow time, people, or even your own emotions to confine you from the greater calling I am inviting you into. Obey quickly. Trust that I am the one who never misses an appointed time. And remember this, if I have begun a good work in you, I will also bring it to completion with glory. Therefore rise, not with anxiety but with expectancy, not with restless striving, but with complete trust, for the season of blessing is near. You are closer now than you have ever been. And I, the Everlasting One, am still speaking to you today. Move forward, my beloved, for nothing can hinder you any longer. My precious one, now is the moment to boldly step out of everything that has held you back. Do not let old memories, past failures, or the quiet criticisms still echoing in your mind continue to imprison you in a smallness that you no longer belong to. I did not create you to merely survive in fear, to walk only within the limits set by others or by yourself. You were born with a sacred purpose, with a destiny far beyond what the human eye can perceive, and today I have come to remove the last chains still binding your soul. Those invisible cords that have tethered you to hesitation, to doubt, and to an incomplete version of who you truly are. You've grown so used to doubting yourself that at times you no longer recognize it. Every time you ask, "Can I really do this?" or "Am I enough?" those are the moments you've allowed a foreign voice to enter the sacred space I desire to wholly occupy. Those voices, whether from circumstances, people, or the wounds of the past, are not mine. They are echoes of falsehoods, cloaked in the disguise of truth, sent to blur your vision and keep you from knowing who you are in me. You've let them dictate how you decide, how you live, and how you see yourself for far too long. but no more. Today is the day of freedom, not a vague or distant liberation, but a living word from me. You are free. I have not only exposed the hidden things that have hindered you, I have brought with me the key to unlock the door you thought was sealed forever. My truth does not only illuminate, it delivers. I do not expose wounds to condemn you, but to heal. I do not bring up the past to sadden you, but to show you that it no longer holds power over you. You are standing at the threshold. Behind you lies the land of delay, where dreams were buried beneath the weight of pressure, where hope barely kept you afloat instead of setting you ablaze. But before you lies the land of aliveness, where every step echoes with divine guidance, where the heart is reborn in unshakable joy, where every morning you awaken with holy anticipation. Today, God will do something new. I am calling you to step through that threshold. You do not need to bring anything old with you, only your trust. You do not need to explain your past, only be willing to place it into my hands. It is time to let me place the final period at the end of the former chapter and open a brand new page, written by my own hand. A page of restoration, rebuilding, and transformation in the spirit. You are not called to dwell in the ruins of what never came to pass, but to walk boldly in the power of what I am, now beginning. I know there is still fear within you. Fear of repeating the same mistakes. Fear of being rejected once more. Fear that if you step out, you will fail. But remember this, courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to move forward in spite of fear, because you trust the one who walks beside you. And I am walking with you, not behind you, but beside you. Not as a distant observer, but as your companion, your defender, your keeper and your guide. My child, I have seen everything you have gone through. I know every tear you've cried in secret, every time you forced a smile while your heart felt hollow, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it through. But I also saw that you did not give up, and because of that you have arrived at this moment, this turning point. This is not a coincidence. It is a divine appointment, not because you were strong enough, but because I saw that your heart was tender enough to surrender and humble enough to receive something far greater. Let me change the way you see yourself. You are no longer the one who was wounded. You are the one who now carries the mark of healing. You are no longer the one who was abandoned. You are the one whose name is being spoken in heaven. You are no longer striving to be worthy. You are the one who is unconditionally loved. And because of this truth, you can rise from the shadows, no longer looking down in shame, but lifting your head high, as one who knows they belong to an unshakable kingdom. Do not wait until you feel ready to begin. It is as you walk that strength will be poured out. It is as you speak that my words will flow. It is as you step forward that the angels will be released into motion. Do not let the delay of yesterday hold back the move of today. The time to step into the new is now. Stand up not timidly, but with the spirit of one who knows this day has been appointed from heaven. Every chain is being broken. Every barrier is being cleared. The door is opening. And once again I say to you, you are standing at the threshold of freedom. Cross over. Believe that I can do what you've never dared to imagine. And as you walk forward, you will not return to the land you left behind, for you belong to a better land, a future designed by my everlasting love. Now, I invite you into a deeper phase of communion between me and you. This is a time not only to feel, but to act, not only to listen, but to walk in obedience. And to do this, you will need clear guidance, a a roadmap not crafted by human reasoning, but born from the very heart and purpose of heaven. So, my child, let me outline for you each step, concrete, tangible, not vague or distant, but living and practical, guiding you closer and closer to all I have destined for you. First, remain in my word. Do not let my word become something you skim through in spare moments or reach for only when you need comfort. Let it be your lifeblood, the source your soul cannot live without, the very breath of faith and the only voice you heed amid the noise of the world. Every time you open Scripture, it is not a mere reading. It is an encounter, a divine meeting where I speak to you directly. In every line, in every promise, I am sowing seeds of life into your spirit, seeds that will grow into wisdom, strength, and discernment. Do not rush through it. Pause, reflect, meditate. Let each of my promises become your compass in the wilderness, your light in the dark, your fire in the coldest spiritual winters. When my word takes root deeply within you, you will no longer walk in confusion, but with clarity. You will know which path is true, what to hold on to, and what to release into my hands. And do not walk this journey alone. I did not design your spiritual path to be a solitary road. You need community. You need steadfast companions in the faith, those who carry the wisdom that comes from heaven, so they may bring light when your heart is clouded. Seek out the ones I have placed in your life, not by coincidence, but because they carry something from me, a timely word, an objective perspective, a powerful prayer when your spirit is weary. Connect with faithful spiritual leaders, sincere friends, and those whose hearts are tender before my presence. They will not make decisions for you, but they will help you discern. They will not control you, but they will stand watch with you upon the wall of your soul. For at times you cannot fully perceive what is stirring within your own heart, but those who walk closely with me will see it, and through them I will speak, remind, encourage, and correct you along the way. Above all, my child, pray. With a sincere heart, with unwavering persistence. Do not think of your prayers as mere formalities or rituals. Prayer is the lifeline between your heart and mine. Every time you pray, whether through tears or in silence, whether your words flow freely or are reduced to an unspoken sigh, I am listening, and not a single word of yours is forgotten. They rise like sweet incense before my throne, and at the appointed time I will answer. Do not expect that one single request will instantly change everything. This is not a one-sided conversation, nor is it a quick miracle. This is a journey, a deep, ongoing dialogue between the Father and His child, where day by day, hour by hour, you learn to trust more, surrender deeper, and listen more attentively. Pray with perseverance, for through it your faith will grow. Pray in the silence, for it is in silence that I am most at work. Pray in weakness, for in your weakness my power is made most visible. And throughout this entire journey, believe that I am holding your hand. Even when you do not feel me, I have not left your side. Even when you do not see immediate results, it does not mean your prayers are in vain. You are sowing holy seeds, and in due season you will reap what you have persistently prayed for, with overwhelming gratitude, because I will have done beyond what you ever dared to imagine. My beloved child, this is the season where I am inviting you to go deeper. No longer walking by emotion, but walking by faith. No longer living by fleeting inspiration, but by divine direction from above. I do not promise a smooth path, but I promise to walk it with you, and if you are faithful in the small steps, I will lead you into greater things. So listen, seek, persevere, obey, for in every one of these acts, You are building the bridge into the radiant destiny I have prepared for you since eternity. And when your soul begins to tremble, when your faith feels shaken by the unseen, that is the very moment to praise me more than ever before, not because all is going well, but because even before the good unfolds, your praise becomes the deepest act of faith, a declaration in the Spirit that you know I am still holding all things together, even when your natural eyes see no movement. Praise is not merely a song or a gentle voice lifted in a gathering. True praise is a choice, a posture of the heart, a surrender in the midst of the storm. It is saying, I believe, when everything inside wants to cry out, I doubt. Praising me in the midst of anxiety is not easy, but it is in that very moment that something profound within your soul awakens. Worship ignited from a heart in pain has the power to shift the entire spiritual atmosphere. It shatters the thick clouds of despair and allows beams of light to shine again into places long covered in shadow. My child, do not underestimate the power of praising me even before you see the miracle. It is in those very moments when you choose to lift up songs of worship in the midst of life's chaos that invisible chains are broken. The shackles of fear, bitterness, and despair tremble and fall away when you sing, when you declare that I am good, that I am faithful, that I am unchanging. True worship is not rooted in fleeting emotions, but flows from a revelation of my unchanging. When you praise me, you are doing something far more sacred than a mere outward act. You are aligning your heart with the rhythm of heaven. You are not simply calming your worries. You are rebuilding the bridge between heaven and earth within your own spirit. Every song, every word of thanks is a step out of the shadows and into the radiant presence of my light. It is in the land of praise that I draw especially near. There is no darkness thick enough to block the light that shines through worship lifted in faith. My beloved, these steps may appear simple at first glance. Reading the Word, praying, seeking godly counsel, praising me in the midst of trial. In a world that seems to spin out of control, these may seem like small, almost insignificant acts. Yet it is precisely these humble practices that carry the power to tear down strongholds of darkness. For they are not mere moral habits, but spiritual tools I have placed in your hands to build a life that is unshaken by circumstances. They are like the small stones in David's hand, seemingly ordinary, yet capable of bringing down giants that caused others to tremble. For the victory does not lie in the size of the act, but in the covering of my presence upon it. When your heart chooses obedience in the small things, you are paving a path towards something far greater, a holy way, a sacred highway where miracles move freely, where divine intervention is unhindered by doubt or hesitation. And the wonder of it all is this: as you continue walking this path, your heart will gradually align with my heartbeat. You will no longer view life through the lens of fear, but through the eyes of hope and faith. The things that once shook you will begin to lose their power. The voices that once stirred confusion will fall silent before the sacred stillness I cultivate within you. My presence will no longer be just something you seek during moments of prayer, but the very atmosphere you live in day by day. My precious one, I do not merely desire to rescue you. I desire for you to live in true freedom. And true freedom does not come when all troubles disappear, but when your spirit is no longer bound by them. Freedom is when you can worship in the middle of the storm. It is when you know that, even when everything is not yet perfect, you are held by the one who never changes. It is when you understand that my intervention is not a reward for your perfection, but the response to a surrendered heart. So today, no matter how unsettled your heart may feel, no matter how fiercely your circumstances test you, begin to praise me. Let each word of worship be a trumpet sounding the breakthrough that is drawing near. Let your praise be a sword that pierces through the night and opens the heavens over your life. And you will see, I am not only the one who hears your prayers, I am the one who answers with unstoppable power, for I love you, and I am always working on behalf of those who trust me and worship me with all their heart. My beloved child, now is the time for you to rise from hesitation and move forward with unwavering faith. Do not let anything, whether it be a discouraging word, a past failure, or some invisible delay, dim the purpose I have already planted deep within your soul. Do not allow any shadow, be it a person, a circumstance, or a spiritual barrier, skillfully erected by the enemy, to discourage you or cause you to stop halfway through your destiny. You were not born to live bound by limitations, fear, or prolonged doubt. You were born to walk in power, to live in spiritual freedom, and to be led by the divine guidance I pour out from heaven. Your destiny is not some distant, vague concept reserved only for those deemed more special than you. It is yours. You, with all your scars and all your longings, with your moments of joy and your sleepless nights. Yes, you are the one I have chosen to carry my light into a world desperate for healing. And that light is not something you must strive to create by your own effort. It is something I have already sown inside of you. It is the spark ignited each time you choose love over bitterness, hope over despair, prayer over complaint. You no longer need to search elsewhere for courage, for I have placed it within you. Rise in spiritual boldness, not in prideful confidence, but in the deep awareness that you have been given power from on high. I have taught you through seasons of testing. I have trained you in battles unseen by others. Every time you refused to give up, every moment you stood firm in faith amidst the storm, I was pouring new strength into you, and now it is my Spirit who moves powerfully within you, not to help you merely survive, but to enable you to overcome. Do not wait for a perfect moment to begin. The moment is now. I am giving you what you need to start right here, right now, with who you are today. Even when you feel unready, I have already accounted for that in my plan. Your lack is the very place where my power is revealed. Your weakness is the opening through which I lift you with supernatural strength. Don't wait for things to become easier before you take action. Walk forward, even when the path seems unclear, for that is the walk of true faith. My child, my word is not just a collection of silent letters on a page. It is life. It is weaponry. It is an unshakable foundation. When you allow my word to saturate you, when you let it shape your thoughts, your emotions, and your decisions, you are clothing yourself with the armor of righteousness, wearing the helmet of salvation, and holding in your hand the sharp sword of the Spirit. Every scripture you declare, every promise you remember, is a piece of armor forming the spiritual warrior this world so desperately needs. Never forget that my love is your covering. It is not a love that binds, controls, or demands, but one that liberates, heals, and restores. It is the cloak that shelters your wounds, the gentle stream that flows into the driest places of your soul. Even when you've failed, grown weary, or doubted, my love has not changed. It is not governed by your feelings, but rooted in my unshakable faithfulness. So, my beloved, step forward. Do not let creeping doubts make you question who you are. Do not let the distorted words of others twist your self-perception. Do not let past failures obscure the radiant things waiting ahead. If you could see all that I have prepared, if you could hear the celebration of heaven as you take your next step, you would not hesitate another moment. I am calling you to live fully in the freedom I purchased for you with my very own life. Do not live as though you are still bound. Do not let the past define your future. Do not allow fear to control your every step. You have been redeemed, chosen, and anointed. And now is the time to step forward, to walk into the land of promise, to take hold of the things I prepared for you before the foundations of the world were laid. I do not promise a path without trials, but I do promise that I will never leave you. I will fight alongside you, I will shelter you, I will sustain you, and I will cause all things to work together for your good. As long as you keep walking, keep believing, and keep your heart open before me. Remember this: you are not alone. On this journey, an entire host of heavenly angels marches with you. The full support of heaven stands ready to move at the sound of your prayers, at the openness of your heart to instruction, and at each step of obedience you take. You are not merely carrying your own dreams. You are carrying within you a portion of an eternal mission, a light destined to shine into the darkest places. Listen deeply to the words I am speaking to you in this moment, for you are not simply walking through a season of transition. You are being trained and formed in holiness for a great destiny I appointed for you before the dawn of time. Every step you take in obedience, every small beam of revelation you receive from me, is a piece of the grand design that is being intricately completed. And you are not alone in this process. I am actively working within you with a love that is both refining and powerful. I am not preparing you merely to endure temporary challenges. No, my child, I am preparing you for something far greater, something your eyes have never seen, your ears have never heard, and your heart has not even dared to dream of. Do you think the recent days were simply lessons in survival? No, they were the classroom of transformation. In every spiritual battle you have endured, in every choice to do what is right amidst a multitude of easier paths, I have been pouring into your spirit truths that surpass all worldly wisdom. I am infusing the very essence of who I am into the depths of your being. Not mere surface knowledge or empty theory, but real life, holy fire from my throne, the whisper of my spirit touching the core of who you are, awakening within you a sacred potential that has yet to be fully released. You are not being taught to become like someone else. You are being shaped to become fully you, the version I dreamed of when I formed you with my own hands. And in this divine process, I have sown into your soul holy seeds, seeds of insight, courage, spiritual discernment, and sensitivity to my voice. These seeds do not grow in noise, nor do they sprout in hardened soil. They require sacred stillness, persistent praise, and a heart tender and teachable each day. Do not underestimate what I am planting within you. Though it may seem small now, it carries within it the potential to grow tall like the cedars of Lebanon on the mountain of the Most High. My beloved, learn to nurture these things. Guard your heart as a sacred garden, ready to be watered through prayer, deep reflection on my word, and a sincere posture of surrender. Do not allow these holy seeds to be choked by anxiety, comparison, or the doubting voices of the world. You do not need to do something grand to be seen by me. Simply be faithful with what I have entrusted to you, and I will cause it to grow according to my divine design. Do not rush to force those green sprouts into full bloom overnight. Spiritual maturity is a process, not a moment. Every revelation you receive today lays the foundation for tomorrow's progress. Each time you choose to trust instead of doubt, each time you choose obedience over fear, your spiritual roots are anchoring deeper into the eternal rock. And when the roots are secure, no storm will be able to shake you. You must also understand that the training I am giving you is not just for your sake. It is for the sake of many souls who will one day be touched through your life. What I am teaching you today will become bread for the hungry in the days to come. The sorrows you have endured with me will become soothing oil for broken hearts. You are not merely one who is rescued. You are one who is called to carry rescue into places of darkness. And the seeds I am planting in you today will become the source of life for entire fields ready for harvest. Therefore, do not be surprised if your journey looks different. Do not be alarmed when I lead you down a path that few others walk. Your calling is unique, and so is the way I shape you. There will be long nights when you do not understand what I am doing. But if you guard your heart with trust, there will come a day when you look back and see how everything was intricately and wonderfully woven together. And this I promise you, not a single act of obedience will be in vain. Not a single prayer will be forgotten. Not a single tear will fall without being gathered by me. I am using every part of your journey to shape you into a vessel of glory, one who will not only live in blessing, but will also become a channel of blessing for multitudes. My beloved, now that your spirit is beginning to align with the rhythm of heaven, I am inviting you into a deeper dimension of spiritual awareness, not merely to discern the great things I am preparing, but to live each moment with intentionality and reverence. Every choice you make, every word you speak, every action you take carries weight in the realm of eternity. Do not treat any step lightly, for nothing is random on the path I have designed for you. Each decision is a key, either unlocking doors of blessing or silently closing off the way I have prepared long before you knew it. So, my child, learn to live each moment with sacred purpose. Do not rush. Do not act out of reaction. Do not let emotions or external pressures make your choices for you. Pause and ask yourself what truly matters in the light of eternity. When you stand at a crossroads, when your heart feels pulled in many directions, let my wisdom become the mirror that clearly reflects the way you are meant to go. Do not let the noise of the world drown out my gentle whisper, the voice that consistently calls you back to truth, to what is eternal, to values that do not decay with time. There are things that seem urgent but are ultimately hollow. There are things that appear insignificant, yet they form the foundation for a great destiny. This is why you must weigh everything with divine precision, not through the limited lens of reason, but through the light of spiritual discernment. Learn to see deeper, to listen more intently, and to walk more slowly if necessary, so long as each step is guided by the peace that comes from me. And when you find yourself asking what is truly worth your heart's full devotion, I say to you, it is the relationships I have entrusted to you that are among the most sacred treasures. Your family, your spouse, your children, your spiritual companions, the faith community I have placed in your care. They are the jewels the enemy would love for you to overlook while you chase things that seem more important. But my dear one, it is your faithfulness in the small, in the close, in the everyday that proves you are ready for the weight of greater things to come. Do not let work, reputation, glamorous goals, or outward success dim the light of true love, for in the final moments you will not regret not having achieved more, but rather that you did not love deeply enough, or were not fully present for those I placed beside you. Keep your heart tender toward your loved ones, sensitive to their spiritual needs, and faithful in intercession, building them up with words full of grace and acts of sacrificial love. My child, I am calling you to invest in what nurtures life, not merely physical life, but the kind of life that is breathed into existence by my love. Pour your whole heart, your devotion, and your steadfastness into what endures. Those moments when you sit beside someone and truly listen, those times when you forgive even without an apology, those quiet nights when you pray for your family through tears, all of these are building my kingdom within your heart and within this world. Do not let yourself be drawn away by fleeting glamour. Visibility is not the same as greatness. Human applause does not define your worth. Every assignment I entrust to you carries within it the imprint of eternity, and if you are faithful with it, even if no one on earth ever sees, heaven remembers. Do not let fame, busyness, or the craving to do something big cause you to overlook what I am gently placing in your hands right now. A soul that needs to be embraced, a child that needs prayer, a father that needs forgiveness, a friend at the edge of despair whose rescue lies in the very words you choose to speak. In me, you will never lack guidance. You won't have to fumble trying to determine what is right or what is good. If you draw near to me, if you seek me with all your heart, I will show you what is precious, what is worth keeping, what must be released, and what must be guarded at all costs. I will open your eyes to see what truly holds value, not through the lens of society, but through the gaze of my faithful and loving eyes. My wisdom will never lead you after illusions. It will keep you anchored amidst the storms and lead you into a place of peace that defies chaos. My beloved, remember this: what begins in love and is nurtured in obedience will never be forgotten. It will bear fruit not only for you, but for the generations that come after you. Live with the awareness that every moment of your life carries spiritual weight. Choose what carries eternal value, and I, the one who began this good work in you, will bring it to completion until the day of glory. So then, my child, live more slowly, live more deeply, love more freely. Let your heart take root in what truly nourishes life. Let your eyes seek what is eternal amid all that is passing, and in all things keep your heart tethered to me, the Alpha and the Omega, the source of life and the ultimate purpose of all things. When you live this way, you will never have to look back in regret, for you will have chosen to live rightly, fully, and in alignment with the path I designed for you. You are no longer defined by your past, by your mistakes, or by the failures the world once labeled you with. In my eyes, you are no longer one who must carry the burden of shame or condemnation. I have stepped into your life and touched the deepest places of your soul, and it is in those very shadows that I have lit the flame of redemption. You are priceless to me, in a way that no earthly language can adequately express. No song or poem could ever fully capture the depth of the love I have for you, because it transcends time and surpasses every human standard. You are my creation, gazed upon with tenderness, the one I called by name before the foundations of the world were laid. I do not look at you through the lens of your failures, but through the spotless blood that was shed from my love to redeem you. Today I see you stepping forward as one completely transformed, a soul restored, a heart that has learned to forgive, a person clothed in the beauty of grace. You no longer dwell in the land of bondage. The chains that once held you, whether sin, regret, or unspoken accusations, have been shattered by the power of my deliverance. You are not merely forgiven, you are restored, renewed, and reinstated. You now stand in true freedom, not the fragile version the world offers, but a profound liberty that comes from complete forgiveness, from knowing you belong, and from walking in a space where nothing stands between us. I have cleansed you of everything that once dimmed the light you carry, not because of your merit, but because of my very nature, a nature of unwavering mercy and faithfulness that moved out of love. Do you know this, my child? Every step you've taken to courageously face the consequences of what once was is not a sign of weakness, but proof of spiritual maturity. Your bravery is not in never having failed, but in choosing to face the truth, to walk out of darkness, and to step into the light. Your beauty doesn't come from outward perfection, but from the miraculous blend of healed wounds and grace that now envelops you. You are no longer under any condemnation, for I, the Holy and Righteous One, have borne every judgment that was meant for you. No curse has authority over you. No shadow of the past holds power in your present. For where my spirit is, there is freedom, and my spirit is in you, moving, guiding, and renewing you day by day. The whispers of accusation, the echoes of judgment that once clung to you like a shadow, have now been silenced by my unchanging truth. You are chosen. You are loved. You are fully forgiven. No voice, whether from outside or from the depths of your own fears, can override the eternal declaration I have spoken over you. So stand firm, my child, upon this foundation. Do not let any passing emotion or any word from others blur the new identity you now carry in me. Remind yourself daily, you are redeemed, not by good deeds, not by striving, but by an unshakable love. Let this truth seep into every breath, every decision, every way you see yourself. Walk as one who has been affirmed, not because you must prove something, but because you have already been approved by the Most High. Live as one who knows they are no longer bound, but called to proclaim freedom to the captives, to comfort the brokenhearted, to bring healing to the shattered, through the very love that first healed you, my beloved child. Never return to the place from which you have been set free. Do not let anything cause you to forget what I have done. Let no lingering sense of guilt remain in your mind, for that does not come from me. What I have forgiven I do not remember. What I have erased, no one has the right to resurrect. You are now walking in a new chapter, a chapter of restoration, of faith, and of a life that carries the light of eternity. My dear one, let your heart find rest in this profound truth. I am the one who silences every false voice that once tried to invade your thoughts, that attempted to paint distorted images of you, of me, and of the path you are walking. Those shadowy sounds, whether disguised as logic or whispered from past wounds, are no longer permitted to have dominion over your soul. For I, the Holy One, the Almighty, stand in the very heart of your inner battlefield, and I have commanded silence over everything that does not flow from love and truth. Every lie that ever whispered you are not enough, that you've gone too far to be forgiven, that you are doomed to remain in your mistakes, these are hollow echoes that no longer have ground to stand on when my light shines upon them. I not only dispel the darkness, I fill the emptied space with my very presence, a presence that melts doubt, breaks chains, and restores life. You are enveloped entirely in my being, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a deep and abiding union between your soul and eternal truth. Do you not see, my child, that very presence is your safest haven, a fortress no arrow of the enemy can pierce. As you walk in me, you are no longer an exposed target to the schemes of darkness. You are hidden in a place where no accusation can reach you. My essence, my unwavering mercy, my unshakable righteousness, and my unconditional love is the ground of your complete liberation. Therefore, walk boldly, my beloved, with a heart full of conviction. Do not bow to fear. Do not pause at the crossroads of doubt. Keep moving forward, because you do not walk alone. You are the one I have called by name, the one I have touched with my own hand, and the one preserved under a cloak woven from unbreakable love. My presence goes before you like a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, guiding you, illuminating your path, and shielding you from every unseen danger. The whispers that once made you tremble, that you are not enough, that you will surely fail, that you are alone, no longer hold power over you. Because I have spoken, and when I speak, all tremors must cease. When I say, "You are mine," every plot of darkness must bow. My word is not mere sound. It is creative power. It is the breath of life. It is the command for peace to rule. The thunder that tears through the heavy veil of uncertainty, and that word, my child, is now echoing in your soul, calling you into a new realm of living, where peace is not just a feeling, but a nature embedded deep within. Picture yourself standing in a vast open field, where the wind of heaven brushes through every blade of grass, and gentle light envelops all things, and no sound stirs fear in you. That is where I am calling you. To a life no longer driven by striving, but led by unshakable peace. There you no longer live to prove anything, but to be exactly who you were created to be from the beginning. There you no longer carry the burden of effort, but lean into my strength. There, everything becomes clear, for I am the light that reveals every corner once hidden in shadow. You no longer need to look back. I have blotted out the past. The voices that once brought you shame have now been drowned in the holy silence of my mercy. No one can label you with the name of failure, because I have called you by a new name, restored one, beloved, chosen, one who belongs to me, and that name no one can ever take away. And as you step into each new day, you will find your every footstep covered by my promises. Not every circumstance will be easy, but you will stand firm. The enemy may not cease his pursuit, but you will not be overcome. Clarity may not come all at once, but you will never lose your way, for my hand is holding you, and once I have taken hold of you, I will never let go. Dare to live as one who has been set free. Dare to love as one who has nothing left to fear. Dare to dream as one who knows that I am the one who can do exceedingly more than all you ask or imagine. Move forward with eyes wide open, with a steadfast heart and a soul brimming with hope. For you no longer belong to the land of doubt. You belong to the kingdom of light. My beloved, the stillness within your heart today is not emptiness. It is the echo of new life being formed. It is the sacred space I have cleared to sow things eternal. Let the only voice you listen to be mine. And when you learn to clearly distinguish that voice amid the countless others, you will no longer be swept away. You will stand. You will enter in. You will live fully in the realm I have destined for you, not merely peaceful, but radiant, rejoicing, and full of purpose. For you are mine, and I am yours, forever. My precious child, every morning as your eyes open, I am already waiting, ready to pour into your life fresh mercies from eternity. What I give never runs dry, because the fountain of my love and kindness flows endlessly, surpassing the boundaries of time and circumstance. Not a single day arrives without me sending what you need, whether it be gentle comfort, a timely encouragement, or quiet strength to weather the storm ahead. Each day I release a unique blessing, perfectly tailored to the demands of each moment, so you may continue not in anxiety, but in the steady confidence of a soul upheld by heaven. I know you are living in a world teeming with schemes, where the enemy of your soul relentlessly seeks to plant seeds of deception, fear, and despair. He watches your steps, sneaking in misleading whispers during your moments of weariness, trying to make you question your worth, my love, and even the destiny I have set before you. But my child, I have never left you to walk through the shadows alone. I have not handed you over to life's harshness. I am here, right beside you, with arms outstretched, eyes full of compassion, and a heart wholly devoted to loving you without condition. So rise from the land of doubt. Rise above the false mist cast by the enemy. Do not let the voices of denial, fabrication, or condemnation, none of which come from me, dim the light you carry. Within you is etched a power not born of human will, but of my eternal love and unchanging truth. It is that very truth, steadfast, unwavering, never contradictory, never forsaking, that will be the sure foundation on which you can stand, facing every challenge that life may bring. Let my word become the rhythm of your soul, the echo in your thoughts, the breath within every decision. When you allow my word to be engraved deeply within you, it becomes more than a memory, it becomes life. A life that awakens faith, and faith that melts fear. And from that place, deep in your spirit, faith will take root, will grow, and will bloom into a trust that cannot be shaken by circumstance. No matter how the earth may tremble, no matter how the things you once knew fall apart, my child, faith is not the surge of emotions that rise when everything goes well. Faith is a choice, a decision repeated day after day that you will keep believing in my word, even when your eyes have not yet seen the miracle. Even when your heart still aches, even when the road ahead remains clouded in mystery. True faith does not demand ease. It requires steadfastness, and I see it clearly. You are bravely learning to believe in the midst of trial, learning to hold my hand when all you have is the promise. I see this, and I am glorified by your heart. And remember, no matter how fierce the storm becomes, I remain the refuge that never collapses. I am not shaken by the raging winds or the crashing waves. I am not startled by the unexpected turns in your life. On the contrary, I have seen it all beforehand, and I have gone ahead of you, preparing a shelter formed from the very depths of my mercy, a place where you can hide, weep, rest, and be restored when everything else falls away. I am the one who remains, unchanging, unwavering. More than a place of refuge, I am the one who rises to fight for you. You are not meant to face adversity alone. This battle is not yours to carry by yourself. I step onto the battlefield not with a visible sword, but with the full authority of heaven in my hands. I fight not because you are flawless, but because you belong to me. No force, no circumstance, no chain can hold captive the one I have declared, and that one, beloved, is you. So now, my child, be bold as you walk forward. Do not bow your head in worry over what has not yet happened. Do not tremble over what lies beyond your control. Each day, walk as one fully equipped with my word, my love, and my ever-present nearness. Let your heart beat in rhythm with mine. Let your steps follow the light I shine before you. For when you walk under my guidance, though you pass through fire, you will not be burned. Though through deep waters, you will not drown. For I, the Holy One, am with you. Now lift up to me your sincere prayer, you may say. Lord, I come before you with a humble heart, yearning to perceive what has been hidden. Holy Spirit, open the eyes of my soul so I may see beyond the thin veil of this world and discern the things quietly obstructing my divine destiny. Do not let me be swayed by false logic or vague emotions. Grant me heavenly light to distinguish truth from what only appears to be true, what is truly from you, from what merely mimics the light. I long to see as you see. Lord, grant me divine courage to not turn away from the truth you are revealing. Even if that truth brings discomfort, let me not shrink from it, but face it with faithfulness. I no longer want to dwell in the shadow of compromise. Set me free from fear and raise me up in the authority of one who has been chosen to shatter the invisible chains that bind my soul. I declare, I do not belong to the darkness, I belong to the light. Lord, if there is anything in my life, a relationship, a habit, a dream, or a thought, that is not from you, reveal it to me. Cut off every unholy tie, every subtle influence that draws me away from your purpose. I renounce everything that does not belong to your kingdom. I do not wish to hold on to anything that hinders me from entering the land of promise. Move mightily within me and lead me into true freedom. Lord, please forgive me for the times I hesitated, for the moments I clearly heard your voice but did not obey right away. Today I choose to live in immediate surrender. Remove from me any disguised delay masked as reasonable excuse. Grant me a heart that is ready to move, not needing to understand everything, but simply trusting the hand that leads me. I declare, I will no longer wait for the perfect timing. The time is now. I will walk with you. Lord, you know every hidden corner of my heart, the wounds left untouched, the memories still bleeding. Today I open my heart fully for your Spirit to enter the places I once concealed. Heal me, every thought, every emotion, every broken piece that has caused me to live incomplete. Wash away the old memories with the precious blood of your Son. I declare, memories will no longer imprison me. I am healed in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Lord, grant me divine wisdom to discern between what is truly from you and what only appears to be. Let my spirit be sharp enough not to be deceived by voices that merely impersonate your truth. When I stand at the crossroads of decisions, let your word be the compass that leads me. I choose not to make choices based on emotion or circumstance, but on the gentle whisper of your Holy Spirit. Teach me to listen well and to walk in the light. Lord, help me recognize what I've been holding on to for too long, something that seemed good but is actually standing in the way of your best. Give me the courage to let go of anything that no longer aligns with the journey you've laid out for me. Even when I don't understand the why, I choose to believe that what you remove is always to make room for something greater. I no longer want to live in regret or hesitation. I let go so I can move forward. I release it so I can soar. Lord, restore in me the awareness of the purpose you planted in me from the beginning. Remind me of what you once spoke, of the things you sowed into my spirit when I was young in the faith. Reignite in me a strong faith in the calling I carry. Though my circumstances may change, I believe your intentions remain unshaken. I am a child of promise. I was born for a sacred purpose. Establish that truth within me day by day. Lord, I sense a divine invitation echoing within my soul. I don't want to merely stand at the threshold of destiny. I want to step into it. Open the way, break down every barrier, and clear out every spiritual obstruction. I am ready to walk by faith even when clarity hasn't yet come. Let angels be dispatched on assignment. Let your power move and reveal what has never been seen. I declare this is the season of breakthrough. I will no longer hold back. I step into the fullness you have prepared. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, don't forget to click subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the life-giving, meaningful messages from God. Together, we will grow in faith and live a life fully immersed in His love. Amen.